Hola amigos. In today's video, we will be ranking fashion TikTok trends. I asked you guys over on IG, what are some TikTok fashion trends that you hate or that you love? And you guys sent me a whole bunch. And if you want to get involved in more stuff like this, go ahead and follow my Instagram. It's BLVCK, hoodie with 3 E's. I've decided to set up a tier list so that we can go through and we can rank each one in my personal opinion. So if you wear any of these, don't think that I'm hating on you. It doesn't really matter. You do what you like. That's all that really matters. That's what style's about. But this is just my personal opinion on what I like and what I don't like. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So we have 5 tiers. The top one is the best, going down to the bottom, which is the worst. So starting it off, we have OP. A little overpowered. It's a little too good, you know what I mean? Like, it's something that is so beautiful on the eyes that it kind of messes up with the rest of the fashion space. So that's the first tier. Second tier is going to be my uniform. This is something personally that I would rock on the day to day. It doesn't have to be the greatest thing you've ever seen, but it's just, it's good. It's not good, it's great. The third tier is gonna be better on other people. I'm not saying I don't like it, I like it. It just doesn't work with me. It doesn't work with my body, it doesn't fit with my style. So it's something that's better on other people. Fourth tier, it's okay. It's kinda in the title, it's okay. You know, it's not ew. You know what I mean? It's not disgusting, but it's not like, wow. The last tier is, I don't wanna ever see this again. And it's self-explanatory. I don't ever want to see this again. And that's it. Let's get into it. So to start it off, the first trend on this list is going to be, of course, Blokecore. I am stunned that it has gotten this big, because originally when my boy Brandon Henley, when he put this out there as like a term, Blokecore, it was funny. It was kind of like, it was a meme. Like, that's kind of where it was, you know? And somebody who actually plays the sport, like, it was kind of looked upon weird and like looked down upon if you wore jerseys like in your everyday life, like at least here in America. Like in Europe, I would expect it to be different because it's more part of your culture, but here in the States, it's weird. Nobody's rocking football jerseys like that. So for me, when it came to this whole idea of Blokecore, it was cool because I saw a lot of people taking jerseys I love and still introducing it into their everyday wardrobe. However, I do think it is very easily memeable if you don't do it correctly. And the only reason why I say correctly is because you can kind of do it however you want. Like, I wear jerseys with suit trousers. It makes no sense, but I do it because I think it looks cool. I do think if you kind of go with the jersey, jeans / jorts combo, and a pair of Sambas, you do look like an NPC slightly. And it doesn't come across as like, not innovative, but like expressive. You don't really come across as like yourself. You kind of come across as somebody you saw on TikTok. Personally, I mean, shoot, the profile pic is me wearing a jersey. I put it in OP because I just think it's so global and it's so me. You know what I mean? It's so me that there's nowhere else I could have put it other than the it's OP section. Next trend isn't necessarily a clothing item or clothes that people are wearing, but it is a phenomenon, that's a big word for Jevon, that is taking over TikTok, and that is cropping everything. I don't know how this necessarily started, and listen, I love a good crop tee, okay? I'm the king of, you know, a little arm stretch, let the shirt come up a little bit to show off the proportions, okay? I'm the king of it. However, not everything has to be cropped. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes garments are made to be longer. And it's okay, they look cool when it's like that. When you have a longer jacket that goes with a pair of, don't kill me, straight leg jeans. I know, not flared, not boot cut, not wide leg, but just straight leg jean. Sometimes it looks cool, so you don't have to necessarily crop everything. But I do like cropping a good tee. Like, I do like cutting a white tee to kind of show a little bit something. I like it. I do think it gets to a point where it is a little excessive. When you crop every tee in your closet, every button up, every blazer, you lack the versatility to kind of stretch out what you want to do. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to put it in the it's okay. It kills the versatility of your closet and your wardrobe when you just crop everything. And if you're gonna crop, maybe take it to a tailor, get it altered, get it really to fit the way you want it to, or like have it be a nice clean hem. Sometimes just the scissors and then the rolling fray is not it. So for me, it's in the it's okay section. The next trend is something that I barely will even speak upon. I hate that I even have to speak upon this. It is the MSCHF Big Red Boots. I hate MSCHF as a brand. I'll just go ahead and put that out there. I think they're a whole bunch of cornballs who only do anything for internet fame. And I think the Big Red Boots was nothing more than just that. Horrible. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't want to ever see it again. Simple as that. Next trend is going to be the Adidas Samba, which has arguably been the biggest shoe in like the last year, 2 years even. I think it's right up there competing with the Nike Dunk for overall popularity. They're easy to get, okay, unlike Dunks, for example. They are incredibly versatile. I think going from the chunkier shoe to now a more narrow, flat shoe is a great shoe, and it's incredibly affordable. So for people trying to get into fashion or trying to get into space, I mean, pick up a pair of Sambas, okay? They're just fantastic. It's my uniform. Next trend is gonna be the Playboy Cardi slash Balenciaga slash Opium Aesthetic. I love all black. My whole closet is pretty much all black. However, I don't necessarily fit into this aesthetic because it is very much like punk, goth, emo driven, and it is one that I don't personally like all that much. I think it looks cool on other people who have the ability to pull it off. Like when you have that look about you, it looks dope. I don't have that look, so it looks pretty bad on me personally, but I think for the people who can pull it off, and when they do pull it off, it looks fantastic. I like the trend. I do. I like it, but just not for me personally. So it's in the better on other people category. Next trend is just a brand as a whole. I got recommended this a ton. It was Stussy, in particularly the 8-ball fleece. Let's say we're ranking the 8-ball fleece. If it's the 8-ball fleece, it is, I don't want to ever see this again. I don't think it was ever that good of a clothing item, but it got incredibly hyped for some odd reason. But if we're talking Stussy, I love Stussy. It's a great streetwear, like iconic brand. It's relatively affordable, I put it like that. They do have some great designs, and they come up with some really sick collabs, like with our Legacy, with Tekla, with all these different brands. So I personally really like Stussy. So if we're talking about the 8-ball fleece, it would be in the I don't want to ever see this again. But since I'm talking about the brand as a whole, I'm gonna put it in my uniform because I think it's dope. Next trend is gonna be raw denim, in particularly the baggy raw denim that I've been seeing. I personally own the Supreme pair. I think it's the perfect cut for like pair of baggy raw denim. I used to wear raw denim a lot when I was in high school, and then I stopped because I didn't really like the whole Blavy combo, but I'm digging it again. So for me personally, it's in my uniform. I can see how it could take people a little bit like longer to get into it, and don't kill me in the comments because I know people are gonna be like, raw denim never died, raw denim. I get it. It was big in the 10, it's iconic, it's timeless, I get it. I'm just saying, as a TikTok fashion trend, nobody was rocking raw denim. And in the last year, you've seen a ton of people rocking raw denim. So for me, I respect it for its timelessness, and I love it. So for that, it's gonna be in the my uniform section. So the next trend that you guys recommended was skirts over pants. This was a trend I've seen pop up every once in a while on TikTok, but I'm not really on that side of like the indie sleaze girly aesthetic. That's not really my side of TikTok. And personally, for me, I don't think it looks all that great. And that's probably because I'm so used to seeing it in the Y2K aesthetic. So to see it kind of like taken out of that environment and like upgraded in a way, I get it. I like it, like somewhat. Sometimes it's pulled off great. Sometimes it looks horrible in my opinion. I put it in the, it's okay. It's okay. It's not one of those where like, I'm ecstatic when someone tries to pull, like when someone pulls it off, but when they do, it's cool. Like, it's all right. But you won't see me go out of my way to like find something like this, you know? So it's in the it's okay section. Next trend on this list is going to be the old money aesthetic slash stealth wealth. Let's just start off with the name. Okay, stealth wealth, if everyone's talking about it, it is no longer stealth. It's just wealth. Loro Piana becoming like the Arc'teryx of the old money aesthetic is hilarious to me. It has good principles because it's like timeless fashion. It has good principles, but it's rooted in like a horrible like thing. It's rooted in like nepotism and like handed down money. I don't understand why you want to like mimic it. And not only that, you mimic being rich by thrifting pieces. It doesn't, you see how it doesn't really add up, like the aesthetic as a whole doesn't add up. And as a African American, it doesn't seem like it's an aesthetic that's kind of built for me. So for that reason, I have immediately put it in the I don't want to ever see this again. I think if you want to take this aesthetic to the next level, then you go into this one right here. And the next aesthetic or trend on the list is gonna be menswear. Just wear normal menswear. There's no need to try to like play into this aesthetic of old money, of doing certain things, looking a certain way. Just wear normal menswear. And some brands that I've been seeing this do a lot is Peter Do. I'm a huge fan of Peter Do and what he's doing within the women's wear space and shifting the, you know, needle into the menswear space and kind of like putting it on his head a little bit, but just wearing stuff like normal tailoring, like trench coats, blazers, button ups, but adding your own twist to them by maybe layering it with a denim jacket, a flannel. That is a much better way to do the old money aesthetic without actually having it rooted in some of this like garbageness. So for that, personally, I put it in OP, okay? It's too good. When you know how to do it, brother, it's too good. It's just too good. Next trend on the list is arguably the biggest trend or the second biggest trend on TikTok, and it is, of course, jorts. I love it. I love the trend. However, I can't pull it off. I've never been able to pull it off. I tried for like the last 2 or 3 years. It never looks good on me, and that's because I am part of the, say it with me, Thunder Thighs community. Listen, man, it just won't work. Like, I have to get a size like 40 in the waist, even though I'm a natural 30, to make it where it looks baggy to like fit my thighs. It's uncomfortable. I don't like, it just doesn't work for me. But on other people, it looks amazing. It's rare that I see a bad fit pulled off in a pair of jorts, unless you're like Adam Sandler. But if you're not, it's clean. It's cool. It works extremely well. But for that reason, I'm gonna have to put it in the, it's better on other people. It just doesn't work for me. So it has to go there, sadly. Speaking of trends that I've seen go with jorts and not seeing a bad fit pulled off with jorts, we have the harness boot. And this was really sparked because of Miu Miu and their harness boot, and you've seen everyone dupe it, but you've seen it paired more so with jorts. You see jorts and harness boots paired up together, and it's a beautiful combo, but we're just talking about the harness boot as itself, and I love them. They are fantastic. I love the look of them, the square toe, slight heel, but not a Cuban heel. Just a slight heel. The one thing I don't like is the longer shaft. Pause. It's because it just rides up too much on your leg. Okay, I don't like it as much. It's quite uncomfortable, and I don't know why no one talks about it. I don't personally like it. It's just way too uncomfortable. I'd rather wear a Chelsea or something of those sorts, a zip-on, something, because the shaft on it, pause, is just a little too much. So for that reason, I've put it on. It looks better on other people. I do love my R Legacy flat toe boots. Don't get it twisted, but it just looks better on other people rather than does for me, especially when you pair it with shorts. My calf, it just eats up the boot, okay? There is no leniency to make it look like, oh, it's so whimsical. It's like, we in there, you know what I mean? So I put that on the better on other people category. Speaking of boots, the next trend on the list is gonna be hiking boots. And now this is my area, okay? Hiking boots, I hated on them. I didn't hate on them, but I didn't really understand them years back. But I get it now, and I think for me personally, when it comes to wearing boots with shorts or boots in general, hiking boots will always be my #1 choice. I love them. It's the perfect like height, still have like a slight heel to them. They can be kind of chunky, and they look more, you know, like masculine. Like it looks like you can kind of get the aesthetic of like, I look like I go out and do something while still kind of like downplaying it. You feel me? And it's obviously in the OP section. It's too good. It's incredible, and anyone can pull them off. So it's in the OP section. The next trend on this list is going to be headphones worn as like an accessory to an outfit. And if you didn't know, I made a video about this maybe a year ago, talking about the Apple AirPod Maxes and kind of their rise to fame in the whole like fashion space, and kind of how headphones are becoming more of an accessory than an actual technology item. I do think there's a lot of customization that can happen from headphones. You don't need the Apple AirPods Maxes, like you don't need the most expensive ones. I mean, shoot, I rock my Bose QC35s, the second variation that came out years ago, to this day. When it comes to where I've ranked it, I put it in my uniform. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. You can really personalize it to you and what you like, but at the same time, kind of like listen to what you like. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead, walk the streets and fly fit while listening to Frank Ocean, West Side Gun. You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna stop you? So it's in my uniform. Next trend on this list is gonna be Gorpcore, and this is one that I feel like on TikTok at least you've kind of seen it die down slightly. You don't really see it shown off a ton now, but I'm still a huge supporter of it, not because of like I just like the aesthetic of it. For my own style, I like to take business casual but add a technical flair to it. So I like the utility, the function of Gorpcore. It doesn't really matter what people think, but so for me, I've ranked it in my uniform. I can see how other people can say it's in things like better on other people or even okay, but for me, it's in my uniform and it deserves to be there. The last trend on this list is very much a TikTok trend in the way of that it's not a technical fashion trend, but it's a video format. And I had someone recommend this to me, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, exactly. And it is going to be the buy this instead of insert trendy item. I know you guys are probably seeing these videos, and I'm not gonna be one to say I've never done these. In the past, I used to do a lot of these, not necessarily to this extent. I used to do like a best of like best shoes to buy or like stuff like that to like get you in, but never to the extent of what we're seeing now, where it can be like instead of an Air Force One, buy a Samba. It's kind of gross. It's kind of mediocre. It's not really doing anything. It's not adding much to the space. I don't really like it, but I understand why it's useful, and I understand the purpose of it, because it's not when people make these types of videos, they're doing it out of like not ill intent, but like they're doing it because like they want it to kind of come across weird. They're doing it for good reasons. They're trying to put you on to something. So for me, I put it in the it's okay, you know? I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I get it, I understand it, so we put it there. It's okay.